Oh, that's hilarious. Hey, y'all. Hey,
Hey.
hey, hey. How the gang doing tonight? I hope all is well. So, if you don't know, now you do. I am Aisha Shermaine, the one and only, with my beautiful co-host.
Miss Maya Jean Leroy. Call me whatever. Just don't call me fake.
Period. Okay, let me give y'all a disclaimer. Two disclaimers. I'm gonna eat because it's my eat time. That's number one. Number two, free the homie Big Meat.
Hey, I'm so happy he's
Big
getting
Meat's
out.
coming
Like,
home. Big Meat's coming home.
listen,
Okay.
I am so ecstatic for real that man is free. Like, what?
Look,
He,
like I don't even know what that man looked like for real, but I heard his story. Like I told you, my nephew, the dog, my sister's dog, is named after him. So free the homie Beach. You know what I'm saying?
a big meat. You hear me? Like, listen, I mean, he is like, I don't even know what word to use for him. Like, that's for real. Like, this is my opinion. That is a special man. Because he's doing the same thing that the government does. So what's the problem?
What?
He does the same thing that the people that y'all want to vote for does. So I don't vote. That's a whole nother
Sound
topic.
like money laundering and embezzlement to me.
I mean, drug dealers. Let's not forget. What's my show? Snowfall. If you watch Snowfall, listen, please.
Snowfall was good, but I ain't. I stopped watching it a couple seasons in,
I
but it was
love.
good.
So y'all, we're on a first of all, and also I apologize, Aisha, because I didn't know it started counting down. It said 3, 2, live. I said,
I I was that rice.
so that's
But
my
I look
fault.
good.
But yeah, we apologize. We apologize. We have been
Not sure.
being who we are. Okay, we be doing life, but we're gonna really work better on showing up. But we got to get straight to the topic. The first one. So as we know,
Okay.
there is well, this month is October. October. We all know that it's October. So happy October, everybody. October is a lot of things. I do have to make acknowledgement that this is Breast Cancer Awareness Month as well.
Yeah.
So let's never forget that. So shout out to anybody that has survived, and our comfort to anybody who has lost anyone to breast cancer.
Absolutely. Definitely to any form of cancer because we know
Any,
that.
absolutely, yeah, absolutely. I agree. Yes, absolutely.
So we
Absolutely.
know.
So let's see here.
I'm sorry, guys. My family is family. Go ahead, Mike. I be right.
Now you good, you good. I was trying to connect my AirPods, but they acting like they don't want to connect. That's what I'm trying to do. But yes, so
Right.
let's start. So okay, our topic, and also this month is Domestic Violence Awareness Month. Um, Unfortunately, it is something I feel like that isn't discussed enough due to it being violent, obviously, and people lives are literally at risk. So our hot topic that we like to start with, or want to start with today, is there was a situation. Let me pull it up and read it because I actually have it. So with domestic violence, like as we know, it could get pretty bad. So there was a story because I want to that my condolence our condolences seriously to anybody that has lost a loved one, that has been killed or hurt badly from domestic violence. But basically, so a mother in Rocky Mount, North Carolina, uh, was Kiera Messingberg. She passed away from murder suicide, and Let's see. So it says the incident involved her boyfriend who shot her, their 6-year-old daughter, and 2 others before taking his own life. So just reading that really weighs heavy on my heart. That's a very sad situation. Um, so, our comfort again to all of the family members involved with that incident is it really sucks that, this is a topic, to be honest. It really does suck that this is a topic because I know for me personally, it's just like to be violent to a person that you say you love is like kind of what's the point? Like,
Yeah,
I really don't comprehend that at all.
because it's
So
not love, it's manipulation.
exactly. It's not love, it is manipulation. Um and I think a lot of people don't realize that there is so many signs that we get from an abusive person. And abuse or domestic violence as well, I feel like is not only physical, it's definitely mental.
Emotional, mental, verbal.
But it can be damaging as far as just like your items. So I don't know how would I, how that's
No.
you take a lot of losses with material things. That's for sure. You take a lot of losses.
Mm-hmm.
OMG. Who
Here
wants
for
to take a like? Who wants that stuff damaged? Because you mad. Like,
right. But even that, just the damage it does on a person physically, mentally, emotionally, that stuff takes a toll. And unfortunately, like you said, signs are usually in front of us, but oftentimes we choose to ignore them. Gorilla got a song, and I don't know if y'all heard her new album, but to me, I love her new album. She went hard, her features went hard. Listen, but she got this song on there called Don't Deserve featuring Money Long. The first line say, red flags be looking green to us, but we so colorblind.
mm-hmm.
Baby. And I'm a survivor, a 2-time survivor of domestic violence. And the flags be right in front of us.
I'm
But
talking
we
about.
choose to see green. Don't be colorblind to the bullshit. I'm sorry, but don't be colorblind to the bullshit.
I agree. And don't those red flags. It's like so. I'll just give an example. For me, it wasn't even it. Okay, I, okay, no. At first, I didn't know he had money. I didn't know he. I could, you could see, I could see it or what have you, like, but I didn't see the money. If that makes sense. But
Mm-hmm.
nonetheless, yeah, all the signs was there, but I really liked them, and that's the problem. Like, you have to really love yourself more. I'm talking about y'all, and that's the thing. I know domestic violence is not. And so, like she said, because I don't want to skip over the fact that she acknowledged she is a 2 times, survivor, and I could say the same. I think, yeah, twice, pretty much only 2 people, two individuals that, yeah. Other than that, I never had any issues. Yeah, with anybody. I had maybe an incident. That's different. But that's different. But but nonetheless, yeah, it's just and that's the thing. Like I should have loved myself more because I ended up breaking up with him as much as
Did
ugh.
all too.
I didn't want to, but I had to because I'm like, you got me messed up, sir. So I'm deuces.
But the thing
I
about it is, when
huh?
it happens, it's like a shock, right? Um,
Mm-hmm.
like the first time it happened to me, I was such in a shock at what was happening to me. And I was in a shock because honestly, I seen my mother go through it.
Mm-hmm.
I heard stories of one of my sisters going through it. And I kept saying, I ain't never, I ain't never, I ain't never, I ain't never. But the thing is, they know how to play a role, right? So they're gonna put on the show, they're gonna put on this mask, and they gonna give you a good mask, a good show.
Everything, yeah.
And then it's just gonna randomly happen. With both of mine, never even would have guessed that that was their character. Because they came off so sweet. They came off gentlemanlike. They came off putting on a good ass man show. Like, baby, when I say you couldn't tell me, like if you came to me and said that they did that to somebody else, I ain't gonna take somebody else's reality from them, but I'm gonna be like, is you sure you got the right person? That's how good of a show it was given to me in both of these scenarios. And like with the second scenario for me, I had came back to Illinois. That's one of a piece of why I moved back to Illinois. But I had came back to Illinois. And I wasn't trying, like, when I left Texas and I came back, all we came back with was suitcases of clothes. I left everything else, right? So when I got up here, I was trying to get myself back together because at this point now I'm a mom, you know?
Yeah.
So when I got back up here and I finally met the second one, it was like, I'm going to do this for you and I'm going to buy you this and I'm going to do that. You ain't got to worry about X, Y, Z. Da, da, da. And I'm like, no, I can do it myself. I got it. I'm cool. But I was so like coerced into his words that and I'm not even gonna cap, it took a while with Buddy. It took a while, at least a year or two before the incident happened. And when that first incident happened, I was just so in shock.
Yeah.
So in shock.
For sure. Yeah. Yeah. It is. And again, speaking from experience, you know, that's why don't nobody want to talk about. Like, this is such a touchy subject. I
It
feel
is.
like, and even if you're not like directly affected, at meaning like
You know somebody.
yeah, you did not go through. You know somebody, you've seen it happen, whether you know the person or not. You've seen it happen. And it's like, I know the main thing that we want to hone in on this conversation is to the people that may be watching who has not said anything, that has witnessed it and hasn't said anything. Like, and what sucks about it, because I'm gonna be real. I mean, you know, I am obviously a beautiful woman of color. We are, right? So we know how our community is, which is, we're not calling the police, we're not getting in the mix. We don't care if we literally hear somebody's head, because women are violent towards men as well, and women against women and men against men. We are very aware of that. Um, be hearing people head getting banged up against walls, floors. You hear it, we see it, right? And we don't say anything because we do think like, OMG, well, I know they have kids. And we don't know what state the house is.
The most common thing. It ain't my business. But if it was your child, would you want somebody to jump in? Would you want somebody to save your child? Would you want somebody to help your child? If you don't give a care about your child, then keep that mentality.
Or your mother, your sister, your uncle, your grandpa. I mean, the list goes on and on. Because I mean, we see it in elderly people as well. They can have, people that's being, violent towards them as well. So you have to speak. I know, it even for myself. I mean, I can also admit that at one point it was a situation where I did call the police, but I was scared. I was fearful for a lot of things. I was fearful for what would happen to me, to my child, to, you know, our living situation.
Mm-hmm.
At the time, you know, her father, everything like that, I was really concerned, you know. And then you got especially if the person is your manipulator or your abuser, they're gonna, oh, don't call on me, you know, it's gonna be
No,
my
you
third
wrong.
felony, you
You're
know.
not saying it right.
What they be saying? It's
They
not
be saying, so you gonna call the police on me after all I did for you? After XYZ?
that. Or what about the kid? What she ain't gonna be able to see her daddy. He ain't gonna
The
be able to see
manipulation.
That's your fault.
The manipulation.
And it's narcissism as well.
The
Like,
narcissism. Ooh, the narcissism is heavy, honey.
mm, mm, mm.
Heavy on the narcissism.
Until you deal with one, you don't know nothing about it.
Right, and it's easy to say, if I was in them shoes, ain't no way I'm gonna let somebody play with me. Ain't no way I'm gonna let somebody. But you know what? I used to say that too until I got in them shoes. And when you get in them shoes, like Maya just said, depending on circumstances, it's a lot to think about. Like with the first situation for me, I was staying with them. So it's like, and you know, a lot of people didn't know what was going on with me because I am typically private when it comes to certain things in my life, right? But there are people who are close to me who I may reach out to and know what's going on. But in my first situation, I didn't tell a soul.
Yeah.
When the marks started happening and stuff like that, I would just go MIA until stuff was clear.
Yeah.
I'm talking about I done had my hair pulled off the side. I can still feel it to this day. This side of my whole head, braids ripped out.
Oh my
Plaques ripped
God.
out. I've had black eyes. I've had it. But the thing about it is you've never seen me. You've never heard me speak on it. And that's the other thing that us as victims do. We tend to protect the abuser.
Ooh.
Gotta stop doing that.
And what is that called? Like, what is that called? Or like, why do we? I want of course, we are not psychiatrists or anything. We're just.
I feel like we do it because it's you kind of embarrassed, right? Because number one, how other people look at us is like, you know, that's Maya. Maya ain't gonna never let nobody do that to her, you know. But then you get caught up in this situation. It's like people look at me like this, you know.
Yeah.
And it's like, but I'm really going through this. I can't explain that to them because they're gonna be like, "What is you doing in that type of situation?" You know. Because that's how I felt. Like me being me, the person I am, the way I carry myself, the way I talk, the way I deal with things. You know, it's like, how could you allow yourself to be caught up in a situation like this? Right. So number one, emotion, embarrassment. So you're gonna protect as much as you can. But when I got tired of feeling the way I was feeling, I finally reached out to my godmom, and my face at that time was like, it was healing from an incident, but it was still like this whole side was red. And like for me, what would happen to my skin, like I have very sensitive skin. So when that stuff would happen, my skin would be red, like during the healing process, and it would be a bunch of little white bumps that would pop up. Right?
Oh, I can't. That's not milia. It might be milia, but no.
It looks like milia.
Yeah,
but I don't really know why my skin would do that. But I was in it like when it was going through the healing process. And one day when I got tired of it and I knew I wanted to be, I thought I wanted to be free from it, I called my godmom and I just put my face in the phone. And she was like, you know, what's going on? Like, what was that? And, you know, I broke it down to her. Like, this the situation. She was like, how long? You know? And I finally broke it down to her. And she was like, nah, you got to get up out of there, you know? And so I believe this was the first time that I left the first person. I left and I literally told that man I was going over my godmama house. But I took our suitcases of clothes with us. And I was like, we just gonna go over here, probably spend the night. That's why I'm taking the suitcases.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But I left and I came back to Illinois. And you know, he was calling me like, where you at?
Bad. Then went to the whole nother state.
Went to a whole nother state. Like I'm playing with the man so bad. Like he never even knew that I left the state of Texas. Like that's how bad I'm playing with this man. I would be like, you know, you can pull up and see me over here. I'll send him off and send him to an address. But I was never there. I was in a whole nother state. But he eventually convinced me to like come back to him. And I did. And I felt so stupid. And I remember the day that I left and my godmom came and got me. And I just remember sitting in her car and I just kept saying, I am so stupid. I am so stupid for dealing with this, for allowing a person to do this to me, for all of this.
Yeah. No, I can't. I don't. That's what is now. That's called. It's like a state or a country. What is that called? Like something syndrome where you want to go back to.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. I can't think of it right now, but I know what you're talking about. Like,
it's like right on the tip of my tongue. But
like me, I know I'm not going to say the right thing, so I'm not going to say nothing. But,
but yeah. No,
I know what you're talking about.
That
and it was like, but he convinced me like that's not the right thing to do. Like I was going through, like even in that, I was going through something, and he was going through something, you know, right, playing on my mental. So he did go through something at that time. So I'm like, okay, maybe it was, because by the time I went back to him, all of that stuff that was going on had died down. You know what I mean?
Right.
And so when I went back, I was like, okay, maybe he was going through something. Maybe he was stressed. And, you know, that's why all of this occurred.
Yeah. It's never an excuse, though. Let's be clear. Never an excuse. We know that, but...
And see, I guess I was young. I didn't know no better. I didn't want to know no better. I don't know what the case was for me at that time. But I went back. And I'm like, maybe he got it together. Yeah. Maybe he gonna do better by me. Let me give him a chance. Went back and I was copacetic for like, I want to say it was probably 30 days before the next thing happened. Mm-hmm. But when it happened that time, oh, there you go, Stockholm syndrome. Yeah,
Stockholm syndrome. Yep, that's what she means. Thank you.
So when I got up out of there, I was like, that's when I sat in the car and I was like, I'm so stupid. Like, why did I let him play with me like this? Like, why? Like, why? And I just kept questioning myself, like, to the point where I was just so confused. I was lost. I was a new mom. My baby was like less than 1 year old for sure. And I was mad at myself. Like, I was just, it was the worst. Like, I hate to even think back on that because I put it to the back of my mind and I was like, I don't even think about it, talk about it, nothing. But and you got to think that was incident number one. When I finally did start dating again, buddy, and I'm gonna just be honest with y'all, it's my kid's father, the second one. Like, and it's crazy because I really don't speak on it, and I really don't speak on it now that he's deceased. But it needs to be spoken about because it's too many women dealing with this. It's some men that's dealing with it, you know, and we don't talk about it, and we don't speak on this enough.
Yeah.
But it happens, and it's happened, or it has happened to somebody very close to you. And like for me, people don't really know, because for me, like when the first incident happened, I was so embarrassed by that when I recognized it happening with their dad, baby, I didn't say a word. I didn't say a word.
Yeah.
And like one day I remember my sister calling me. She was like, people saying you doing this and people saying this and people saying that. And I'm like, all the people lying. And you gonna believe all the people?
And the whole time you lying.
It was
And that's
me.
the thing, because what's crazy is earlier when we kind of first started, my legs started to shake because like I was thinking, like just talking about it, I'm thinking about other stuff. But yeah, I definitely don't want to trigger us or anybody. We
Right.
just, again, we're bringing just awareness.
Awareness. Yeah.
Because again, the signs be right there, y'all. This is the
Right there.
thing. If you have to think, if you have to ask yourself, does this person love me? Are they really for me? Like, if at any point in time you have to ask yourself that, you know the answer, babe.
But I can't even say all the time that the signs are right there, man. Because sitting here thinking
No,
about
no, no, no. You're right. Yeah.
my first incident, no. When it happened that first time, it was random. Like everything was good. And I remembered this specifically. Like he had asked me to do something. And I was like, I'm not doing that. No. The answer is no. I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
And so I was heading upstairs and he started saying something slick to me. And I was like, well, since you got so much to say, don't come back and ask me later. And I went upstairs. And not that this is funny, because it's not funny by no means, but
Yeah.
my situation, I'm just speaking on it.
Mm-hmm.
But, and I went upstairs and I got in that bed and I'm like, I'm going to bed. And I dozed off, but I woke up to like hard footsteps coming up my steps. So I'm like, what do he want? Baby, that door swung open and that man grabbed me by my hair. And all these braids over here detached. How do I explain that to my sister who's a professional beautician? How you explain that to your sister who do your hair, who be in your hair? She know what's what. And she's a professional beautician. How do you do that?
You can't explain that.
Exactly.
You can't explain it.
But I did.
Yeah.
I don't know if she really believes it or not. But it's probably why she checks on me more now, because she know, those things happen. And she know I will. Well, before I would used to shut down and I isolate myself from people and all of that. And then when I'm cool again, I'll come back to earth. I don't know. But we definitely have to pay attention. Like, we know, or we should be able to know what's for us and what's not for us. If something feels off, it's off. Your body not telling you that for no reason. It's off. Exactly. Pay attention to that.
Yeah, no, yeah, that's facts. You gotta know that. Yeah. But yeah, no, you gotta know that. You gotta know that. Yeah. And that's the thing about it, is like we just really have to because it's like it's kind of like fighting a lot of things, in life.
You taking on their demons for what? What you taking on their demons for? And 9 times out of 10, the vibe's so real. The vibe's so real. It's like, dang, I ain't never had this vibe before. The vibe's so real. That's what gets you hooked. The vibe is so real. They know how to play on your mental. They know how to play with your emotions. And they're going to make it look good in the beginning. The vibe going to be so real that they going to loop you in so good that you going to question yourself like, would I be a fool to lose this vibe? Would I be a fool to lose this good feeling?
Yep, that's all it be too. That's all it be. But it's all what it is perception. It's putting on it like you. It was crazy. So,
and that's a good one, perception.
Perception. Because listen, y'all, I have to tell this. This is not my situation. But like, I really thoroughly don't understand. I just don't understand why some people stay in situations for the abuse. And it's like you
don't know the circumstances behind it.
Right, you don't, right? But in this situation, I knew, right? So okay, it was a lady that's not dating but talking. We know how it is, situationship. They were intimate, they were, they would chill together, go out on dates or what have you. And the thing is though, she did not really want to be in a relationship with the man. but the man wanted to be in a relationship with her. Okay. All right. So what happened was that's just the basis of it. But I will also say this: apparently, now of course I'm hearing one side from the man. The
Mhm.
man is telling me that she wants to be with her children's father, but he basically is kind of like not doing so well for himself. He doesn't have a job, or if he does, it's not making much money. He lives with his mom, no car, right? Okay.
Mhm.
So here he is, being the man that has his own place, that has his own car, brings in his money, helps her with her children, and so on. Long story short, he was abusive to her, but she
Mhm.
still was like coming back after he knocked bowls out her hand, um, splashed drinks in her face, damaged her car, like completely totaled her car with his hands, his bare
Yeah.
hands. Um, yeah, but she even after that, she still. And I mean, the only thing I could think of, I'm not passing judgment. I'm not passing judgment. It's just, again, yes, I was never in that type of situation. So, cause I know you do that to me, dude, I'm done with you. Like, I don't care if I got you. You think I'm not gonna get another one like you? It's just my child's father. He not doing too good, but I'm finna find another dude like you, and that's why I'm not in a relationship with you because I don't want to be. But he was mad about this, so he would be abusive towards her. He bit her face, like I mean, and she kept coming back, kept messing with him.
But see, it sounded like to me like he knew that she wasn't going nowhere. He knew that she was gonna keep coming back, and so he knew
That's
he had the upper hand. So
Mhm.
he kept playing his cards.
Mhm. Yeah, but my thing is, but okay, and then on his end, why would he continue to be even trying to talk to
Exactly.
somebody and be with somebody and she don't want to be with you? She's making
He probably felt like he could save her. Unfortunately,
and clearly and that makes sense, but clearly Babe didn't want to be saved. Like she
exactly. And sometimes we gotta recognize that too. Like,
gotta
okay,
let people go.
because one thing with relationships is this. Oftentimes we looking at potential. We looking at the potential of people, and we not taking people for what's right in front of our faces. We looking at that potential, and we want, in some cases, we want to be with that potential. So we
Yeah.
say, if I endure what's going on right now, if I deal with this, when they get to that
I'm gonna
potential,
be. It's gonna be the pot of gold.
it's gonna be about a goal. I'm gonna be with them. All
Yeah.
gonna be good. But we're not realizing they may not make it to that potential. And what's right in front of us just might be what it is.
Character flaws too. I was gonna make a post on Facebook. I think that's a I'm like I want to Google it and see what like the official term is, but in my opinion, a character flaw is someone who that is their character to be an ugly person. That is their
Absolutely.
character to be abusive. That is their
Absolutely.
character to be two-faced. It's a flaw. They're not a good person. It's a character flaw. Like that's just unfortunately what some people, and whether that be because they were abused, whether it be because they did not grow up in a stable home with a parent, period, foster care,
Yeah.
all of that, like the list goes on and on. I mean, sometimes it may be a mental thing, like, but again, it's still a character flaw that some people have, and it's also called patterns. It's called patterns.
True.
There's a thing called
I
patterns.
feel like it starts with us as parents, right?
Mm-hmm.
What we show our kids, because we are their first teachers, what we endure in relationships, and how, like, I know we raise our kids, and even though we raise them to the best of our abilities, sometimes the streets gonna showing some things, and I'm not saying streets like drug dealing streets,
Just the world.
but
Yeah.
just the world in general.
Yeah.
The streets gonna show us school, the world, the social media, the TV. Like that's the streets I'm referencing.
Mm-hmm.
Gonna show our kids different things, and that might be the path we take, or the path they take rather. But I feel like as parents, sometimes we gotta intervene sometimes we gotta get in our kids' business, right? And we gotta make sure that, yeah, you may see some things, but that's not the way of life, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I feel like even for those abusers, like, this may sound crazy, because me thinking about it, it sounded crazy, but like, step to your kids and be like, you may have seen me hit your mama, but that's not something I want for you. I'm not in my, like, give them some type of something, because when we don't give them anything, guess what? They grow up and they become those abusers, and then guess what? It's a pattern, and if they have kids, it's gonna trickle down and trickle down and trickle down, and nobody's doing anything to stop it. And
Mm-hmm.
somewhere we gotta stop this generational inheritance of BS, okay? Because
Yeah,
all of it is not
that's
good,
all it is.
right? And
That's all.
we gotta stop, ladies or victims, if you will, because some men go through this as well. We
Mm-hmm.
gotta stop being enablers. Like, I'm not blaming anything on a victim by any means necessary, because nothing you do or say warrants for someone to put their
And
hands on you, take your life, or any of that. But when that happens, we gotta leave. We gotta go. We
period.
got to walk away.
Mm-hmm.
And every person they encounter has to do that. You know? Then that'll trigger something in them, like, I can't play with people like that. Let me change my ways, you know? But as long as we enable it, and they do it, and we come back and we like, oh, they're gonna change, and they got hopes,
Mm-hmm.
we got hopes that they're gonna change. They looking at it
Protecting
like,
them.
yeah, protecting them and all that. No, expose them fools. Expose them fools. Because this stuff is getting out of hand. And this stuff is getting old. Like, domestic violence is crazy. And nobody should have to be subject to the BS. Like, I am not a
Mm-hmm.
child. Even a child don't deserve nothing. Like, yeah, sometimes kids need whoopings. Don't get me wrong.
Mm-hmm.
But to be abused, come on. Kids are
Yeah,
innocent. Kids are innocent.
absolutely.
They don't deserve that. No person, no man, no woman deserves that. Like, I don't care what you do or
Agree.
say. It's
Yeah,
not
no,
something a
I
person
agree.
deserves. Like, who are you
And
to put your hands on me?
no, for real. And that's why this is our platform, but we are,
Absolutely.
posting this on our personal platforms. So I know for sure on my Facebook, yes, I took the time out to post whatever I want. But
Mm.
yes, I posted a voice recording. Unfortunately, I had several because it was so many incidents where it was verbal, physical, mental, a combination of all three, a combination of two, you
Mm.
know, several things. So I know it was, baby, it was an uproar. That was the most watches I ever got on any video I posted on Facebook because people love the drama. But
Love
nonetheless,
it.
um, yeah, people wanted to know, like, why did I post it? Like I was holding on to the past. No, this is a season of exposure, period, with any and everything. Okay, so
Mm-hmm.
let's be very much clear. I have been contemplating posting that for years. I've been with not in a relationship with that person for years, and that happened, yes, years ago. However, it happened. It happened for years. It was so unnecessary. I mean, and obviously at some point I left. I mean, and when I tell you, absolutely begged me down. I'm talking about going to counselors basically. Well, I want to stay with her. I want my family. Woo woo. And the counselor like, Maya, do you want to? No, ma'am. I don't. I'm talking about, I remember I was yelling dang near at everybody. I was so livid. Like, I am not finna go back with you. You are abusive and mind you, whole time every time I would go out with the person, because of course they want to, oh, let me take you out to dinner, and the times that I would go, being manipulated mentally or what have you, instead of trying
Right.
to get over, hoping, like you said earlier, Aisha, hoping that this person will change, right? Okay, so I go, and guess what? He's abusive at the freaking lunches and the dinners. Mad because I don't want to hug him. I don't want to hug you, sir. You like to bite people.
What?
You had Okay. And people, yeah, let's talk about it because this is domestic violence awareness. I am making it very much aware that I am a survivor of, unfortunately, my daughter's father. And yeah, I have the right to speak on it. That's what happened. He knows it's what happened. God knows it's what happened.
Right.
And again, yes, ladies, don't the whole, oh, I'll buy you this, I know you like to eat and all of that. they they playing with this, all that. You should, let's be clear, we need to stop talking to these people that we know is abusive. Like, why are you even? But I get it. I did it. I get it. I did it. I get it.
Yeah. And I want to piggyback on what you said when you said people are saying you holding on to the past. No, 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 no. It's not holding on to the past. See,
Speak on it.
even after this stuff happens to us and we don't speak on it, we still protecting these fools. We still protecting them. And they need to be exposed. And I don't care if it's 2 months later, the next day, 1 year, 7 years. These people need to be exposed because I'm sure she was not his first person. And I'm sure she wasn't his last. So it wasn't holding on to the past. It was exposed.
Period. Thank you. I agree. And you're right. Yes. It I wasn't his first victim. Nope. I was not.
Exactly. And the thing about that is too, this, by us still not speaking on those things that happened, even after the situation is dead and gone, it's women out there who need our story, who need our testimony,
Absolutely.
who they need that, but we're not giving it to them because we still being quiet. Like for me, myself, I am one and the same. It has been, my kid's father has been deceased for 5 years now. I'm just saying something in 2024. My best friend used to tell me all the time, you need to speak, you need to tell this story. I don't care what people think about me. I don't care. People don't know what I endured this man. People don't know. You're going to have your opinion, say what you want to say. He deceased. But even if he wasn't, is he going to own up to it? Probably not.
Exactly.
Probably
That
not.
part.
But she was there because she was the person that I would call when things would happen. Like, she's seen things herself. You know what I mean? And so she was all about like, don't let nobody say nothing, on your name or what have you. But for me, it was like, I don't even care about what a person think of me. I don't got to deal with these people. I'm in my bubble and that's it. Like, you want to say he didn't do this or he was the same or this and that, but you did not experience the experience I had with this person. So you can't tell me what I went through with him. You can't tell me what happened to me. There was a point in time, there was 2 incidents I thought this man was going to kill me, baby. Where I thought I wouldn't be sitting in this chair today. One of those incidents, I was pregnant. I remember specifically that man told me he would kill me and my baby. The baby that's his. The child that y'all just saw back here a few minutes ago, that very child. But I never exposed him. I never said nothing. Now, what I will say is maybe God had a different plan because God took me up out of that situation in a different way, unfortunately. But I just feel like, and there's women I know that he's dealt with that he's never touched. So it just, to me, it was just like, when I sat down and thought about it and when I figured certain things out, it was like, well, dang, did I do something to this man? Did I do something? But then I had to really realize, and I'm not bashing nobody and I'm not downing nobody, but I'm not the type of chick he was used to or could handle. See, I'm a independent woman. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't, like, I hate to be like this and I hate to say this, but I don't need, it's not a need, it's a want. So to say that I need you, crazy, But I've learned, a man wants to feel needed, right? All right, cool. So back then I would tell him all the time, I don't need you, sir. You're just here because I want you. You know what I mean? And then it would also, like, we would have verbal altercations to where he would be like, you my biggest hater. And it's like, I'm not your biggest hater. I just recognize things and I'm not no people pleaser. I'm not no people pleaser. I don't care what people think about me. Like, I don't, that stuff don't move me. It don't. Because I know what I do and I know what I bring to the table and I know who I am. Okay? But he used to say that all the time. And I like, and you live for the streets, you care. like you gotta have approval from these people. And all in all, they using you. I kid you not. The month before he passed, he came to me and he apologized for so much.
Hmm.
He sat down and he said, I'm gonna be better and I'm gonna make this right. And I'm gonna get right so that me and you and the kids can move and we can be better.
Yeah.
But what he didn't realize was I was tapped out. I was tapped out from the mental abuse. I was tapped
Yeah.
out from the verbal abuse. I was tapped out from the cheating. I was tapped out from everything I did not deserve. And all
Yeah.
I was telling that man was, when I have our baby, baby, we are through. I'm done. I don't care. And the thing about it was, I felt like the only reason he had stopped putting his hands on me was because I was pregnant. But I knew in the back of my mind, once I dropped that baby, this stuff was going back to what it was before I found out I was pregnant. But see, even with him passing, I never told nobody any of this. This is like my first time ever really just speaking on
Speaking
it.
on it. Yeah.
But I'm seeing so much like domestic violence stuff. Like it's just popping up left
It's
and right
everywhere.
everywhere. And it's like, all right, now maybe I'm one person and I can't break the cycle and I can't
Mm-hmm.
break the,
Mm-hmm.
but me speaking out may help one person. And that's all that matters to me.
That's all that matters, and that's all we're here for. Because y'all know we always like to bring it back to the point of why we're here, and yes, that's the point. Is just to bring awareness to just recap on what we've said thus far. Y'all, please, as soon as you see the flags, don't ignore them. Don't be colorblind like Glorilla say in her new album. I ain't heard that
Don't
none
be,
of them.
girl, don't deserve. When I say that song goes so hard, like I listen to it, it could bring me to tears, but I don't let it. I think
Really,
back
that's crazy. I'm
to,
gonna have to go listen to
yeah,
it.
I think back to these days that I'm speaking of, and I just be like, I wish my friend had this song to play for me. Like maybe it would have helped
Yeah,
me get up out of this situation,
I
before
mean,
all this stuff happened.
just like Eve's song.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
what
that
I
was one of
go?
my favorites. Like, and as a friend, let me say this:
Mm-hmm.
help your friend. Like,
All
my
I know
friend
is that
used to
you're
always
free
do what she
stage.
could, but at the same time, not getting in it because sometimes them people don't care what they do to the people around you. And
Mm-hmm.
sometimes they may try to hurt the people. Now, my friend, she's a gangster. Don't get it twisted. And she don't play about me and I don't play about her. So we will take that for each other. But I'm just saying, like, I would never want her nothing to happen to her on account of some shit that I'm dealing with and vice versa.
Absolutely, absolutely no, and then that's the thing is like that's why y'all we have to get the police involved in stuff or I mean, and that's the thing too. That's why some relationships and stuff end as well because don't nobody want to deal with that. You can't unfortunately lose your life, but like Eve said, all I know is that my girlfriend used to date you, and all I know is that I what she said I wanted to kill you, basically.
By the end of the song, he was dead on account of Eve. That's what
Hmm.
y'all need to know if y'all
I can't
never
even
heard the
think how
song.
it go right now, but I do know that part. All I know is that my girlfriend used to date
I
you.
could split the whole verse if I wanted to, but I ain't gonna do that here
Yeah,
now.
I can't even think of how it go at which part come first,
That
but
used to be my song. Like, listen.
yeah, it's a sad
But if your
thing.
friend comes to you, your sister, brother, auntie, cousin, anybody, everybody, be there for them. Don't be
Yeah,
judgmental.
as much as you
Be
can
judgmental and be there as much as you can and support them.
and
It's not
fight
gonna
back,
be easy.
y'all.
Yeah. And it's not gonna be easy to just sit up and support because 9 times out of 10, they lost. They confused. They
Mm,
can't understand why this is happening to them.
absolutely
Be
not for real.
in those moments they need support.
They need love, yes,
They
because
need love.
at that point they have made them feel so low and as if the
Yeah.
abuse is needed, but it's all a mental thing. So they literally need somebody to mentally try to like to help them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I know it's hard because I know I had friends that had to
They
pull.
need to be reminded of who they are. Stand on that
Exactly. That's the
business.
thing. Yes. And that's what I want to say to anybody watching. You are loved. You are beautiful. God loves you. Love yourself though more. Your love if you don't love yourself, then how somebody gonna love you the way that you don't even, you know what I mean, that you need
Right.
your
That
love.
you don't even
If
know
you
that
don't
you
give
need to
it
be
to your,
loved.
yeah, you got to
Exactly.
give it to yourself first. Like you
Right.
have to, and that's the thing about it. Like you have to love yourself more than you love that person, more than you love anything. Seriously, you
Yeah.
have to love, especially a spouse. You gotta love yourself more. Like, listen, I love my man, but baby, I definitely love myself more. Like,
Period.
I mean, that's just, yeah. Now I can't say that when I was in these situations, I can admit to that. And that's the thing as well. You have to take accountability. You know, you have to hopefully realize that yes, you have to leave. But y'all, when I said fight back, no, I mean fight back. Okay? I mean
Exactly.
fight back. I mean, gouge out eyes. I mean, especially if it's woman against man, girl, you better, baby. That's when I will be biting. I'm doing everything. I'm stabbing you. Hi, Mike. But yeah, I'm doing all of that. Yeah, I'm doing all of that. Yeah.
What
So
you say?
if you know, you know. Hey, boys, y'all know.
Right.
Cause y'all know I fight back. I'm gonna fight back. Don't try to fight me and not expect me not to do
And
anything.
listen, I didn't used to fight back. In the first round, I didn't fight back. A couple of times in that second situation, I didn't fight back. But I will be honest to say, when I bust that nigga over the head, and I'm sorry, but I just gotta say it like that. When I bust that nigga over the head and this split open,
Or
clock
mm-hmm,
it. They just
mm-hmm,
what they be doing, clock it. And
mm-hmm.
I'm not saying that's the right thing to do, but I'm saying
You're fighting. You're
don't
defending
let
yourself.
exactly. Don't let nobody play with you. Know your worth. Stand on business about you. Love yourself. And if you don't know how to love yourself, baby, Aisha Shermaine, hit that inbox. Maya Jean, hit that inbox. And
Please,
other resources out there, not even just us, but it's
please.
definitely other resources out there. So don't
Mm-hmm.
ever be afraid. Ever.
Yes, ever. Seriously, ever,
What?
ever. But yes, no, we don't condone violence or anything like that. We really don't. We are big on protecting ourselves though and fighting back if need be. So please do so. That's what we mean by that. So yeah, this was a good
Informative.
segment. We're definitely going to run this back. We should do it, I think, this month and just kind of hopefully, one, because we know that this is going to be played back. So if you're playing it back, please in the comments, comment playback or, rewatch,
Replay.
replay. That would be lovely. Please let us know, or even if it's something that you could relate to, just comment, support us, because we know we have a lot of people out there that was waiting on us and that was excited to see us come back. We gonna come back sooner, right, Aisha?
We're gonna be back on Saturday.
Period. I love that. We're gonna be back on Saturday, so we're gonna let y'all know though. Before we go live, we're gonna promote this whole rest of the week to let y'all know and remind y'all. But yeah, do you have any last things you would like to add before we go?
I'm gonna say it one more time. Don't let nobody play with you and stand on business about you. Know your worth, know what you deserve, know your who and your why, and stick to that. Okay? We're not playing with these fools in 2024 and beyond, and we're not dealing with the BS no more. And if you need
Seriously.
help to get to this point, if you need help with self love, if you are in a situation and you definitely for real need help, you don't know what else to do, what else to turn to. Like I'm dead serious when I say reach out and get help. It can be somebody
Seriously.
close to you. It
Seriously.
don't have to be nobody close to you. It could be somebody that you know is a safe space for you. But
Hmm.
don't just take it because you deserve better and you don't got to take that.
Yeah. We will not be judgmental at all. And if you just want us to listen to you, we're here for that as well.
This
Because,
is a
like,
safe space, and we
very
call
much.
it love from within because too many people don't know how to love them. And that's why these topics come to light because we want to teach you at the end of all to love yourself first, and everything else will fall in line.
Yes. Absolutely. I wholeheartedly agree. So me and my cousin had a conversation. This all I want to add is pretty much the same thing as Aisha said, but when I was talking to my cousin, I had to let it be known because of how my past is. Even before those two men, silly tried to be abusive, or well, was abusive to me, or what have you. But they learned their lesson. um, I was telling my cousin that yes, I love myself so much, and I told her I said I don't play about me, but the way I said it is that I'm real stiff arm on these hoes about me. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's a strong arm.
Oh no, that's not what I said. I said I'm hard on the hoe about me. That's what it is. I'm
Period.
hard on the hoe about Maya. So be hard on the hoe.
We might need to make that a shirt. Hard on the hoe.
Hard on the hoe about me.
Did you say something?
About me. Look at her pretty self.
She just want my food, and I'm not gonna eat it, but I'm gonna share with her. Get a plate. I can use.
Hard on the hoe.
But yes, definitely. Say that again, Maya. That's how we gonna start ending this.
Hard.
Say it again. Get a shirt made.
Hard on the hoe about me. I'm
About
hard
me.
on the hoe about me.
By me. So merch coming soon. Merch coming soon.
That is hilarious.
Merch coming soon. Stay tuned for that.
Nah, for real. And we mean it.
Stay tuned. Yes, and eventually there will be social media for this podcast. Hopefully before Saturday, and we will be back on Saturday. So stay tuned for the drop. Just disrespectful. Stay tuned for the drop about that because we know this is tea, but we love y'all, and we know y'all.
Yeah. And we thank y'all so much for watching again. Post in the comment section replay for us if you're just not tuning in after it has been recorded, because we are live currently as we're streaming this. We were live. But yes, y'all. So basically, to again wrap it up, because we got to get back to the other part of our lives, because we love our podcast, but we just got to keep doing.
And I'm gonna do a shameless plug. If you want to learn some knowledge about TikTok, go over to my TikTok because I'm gonna jump over there and be live. But that's a shameless plug. So Aisha Shermaine, what is my TikTok? At Aisha_Shermaine.
I think so. Let me see.
Find me over there. Maya over there too. Follow us for sure on all social media.
Follow us, y'all.
I'm finna
We
go
all
live.
post good content. Yes. And hopefully you can relate to us. If not, hopefully just send it to somebody that can relate to us. We appreciate it in advance.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but we are out. Aisha and Maya, we thank y'all again for tuning in. The Love from Within podcast.
I love that. Good night.
Good night, y'all. Bye.